Hey everyone, welcome back to your Timeless Love reading. My name is Natalie and this is Eve's Rising Tarot. Here in this reading, I'm going to be focused on picking up on the romantic timeline of whatever is happening in your love life. Keep in mind that this timeline can shift and change and evolve at any point with your thoughts, your beliefs, or your actions. You hold the power in creating your life and nothing is set in stone. And as always, please trust and use your intuition when listening to collective readings, including mine, as it will help you to know what is meant for you in the reading and what needs to be left behind. And with that all said, let's get into it. Let's see where your person is at, how they're viewing this connection, what's their overall energy towards this connection and its presence and effect in their life. What is the viewer's person's overall energy towards this connection? Infidelity, number 25. Manipulative social circles encourage betrayal. Social circles encourage infidelity and temptation, which surrounds you or this person, surrounded by temptation and struggles to stay loyal. So how your person is kind of viewing this connection is they're really struggling because of those who are influencing and possibly friends, family, individuals around them make it difficult to or conducive for a relationship that is committed, right? They might be in an environment where there is a lot of temptation, a lot of, males or females. And this person is in a mindset and a phase, not phase, but stage of their life where it's something that they enjoy. We're both holding on to secrets, afraid that revealing them will tear us apart, but it is the secrecy or the betrayal itself that is doing the most damage. So this person may feel that they're aware that there are secrets that they're holding on and not telling you, and has a suspicion that you might be doing the same, or this could be a projection, of them having that knowingness in their heart and, projecting it on you as if that's your truth as well. Breakthrough on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of these. All right, let's get 2 cards. Please show me, what more do I need to know about this energy this person is in? So this person could be somebody who is highly and or easily influenced by friends, family, or those in their close circle. Somebody who takes the opinions and advice of those around them seriously and deeply. Tell me more about this infidelity card. This person may recognize that they have a history of behaving this way when committing to partners. A new chapter. And on the bottom, I saw breakthrough. I am trying to move on from this lifestyle. A breakthrough. So I feel like I need to grab that card. As usual. When will I learn? Okay, so new chapter. I'm trying to move on from this and regret. I wish this never happened. So something happened that possibly maybe this was a person who took the advice of those around them that produced a certain outcome that your person is having a breakthrough in realizing it's not the outcome they wanted. So breakthrough, pushing beyond the comfort zone and discovering new capabilities, allowing yourself to be open and grow stronger through transparency. Breakthrough, this could be a breakthrough in awareness of possibly a type of attachment style. 10. And there are so many barriers stopping us from being together. I'm trying my best to become a better person so I can knock down the walls for you and eventually with you. eventually with you. And I'm seeing a similarity in the masculine figures, which does not speak to gender. It just is a person in the image representing certain types of energies. This, with the chest exposed and that person, you know, their bareness, their humanness exposed, it feels like this person is having a breakthrough and understanding. You know, like this kind of reminds me of Superman when he's not in his Superman attire. Clark Gable, right? Their superpower, which to me speaks to the soul, the power, the intelligence that goes beyond this realm. So a new chapter and charge, infidelity. You are having this person recognize that this life of, what do you call it, womanizing or manizing? What's the word when a man does it? Is not a life that is giving them the thrill or the fulfillment that it once did. It's helping them. I mean, they might be seeing this connection and this potential with you from a higher perspective. It might be that this person is feeling, I'm just kind of like feeling a feeling in my chest, kind of between my ribs. That's not like a sick to my stomach feeling, but like a feeling of, I do these things and I think they're gonna, you know, make me feel that or scratch that itch that I just can't seem to reach. And then I do it, and there's so much promise that the thing that I'm doing is gonna give me the effect that I seek, and it's just there. It's this feeling of just never getting what is desired, what is needed on a deep level. So that's your person's energy right now. Okay. What are your overall energies towards each other? So your person is in a new chapter, possibly brought about by these regrets, these feelings like, man, I really did go against my moral code, which is there despite the fact that I didn't acknowledge it. And in going against my moral code and producing this horrific outcome that is just not what I want, which is, you know, in turn sending me back to this old lifestyle that just has never truly been fulfilling. The breakthrough is happening, the new chapter, this desire, this inspiration to try to move on from that old way of life that has been given far too much time and effort to produce a desired outcome that it's just not capable of producing. Stepping into their superpower. This is the new chapter. And without the events that took place between the two of you that allowed this person to see the way in which they abandoned their moral compass in some way, this regret could have never promoted or kick-started this response and this movement within your person. Okay. Strongest overall energies towards each other. So your energy towards this person, judgment. This might be literal, and that's not traditionally what the card means, but this might be how you're feeling towards this person, is a little judgmental of the way they fumbled. I'm kind of just seeing football and just a little somersault and a ball rolling around. Fumbled. This could also be an awareness and an intuitive knowingness within you that this person is going through something that, even though you're not able to visually witness it, it's inevitable, given the facts of the situation, that this person wouldn't be going through some sort of movement internally. judgment. This also, for some of you, could mean that you are stepping into and birthing into a new way of life, a new mind, a new way of operating or seeing life and its fruits and its potentials. And this little dragon creature on the card kind of reminds me or resembles a phoenix. And these flowers and these like beings that are coming up out of the blooms of the flowers look to be like pollen. Pollen, but if I soften my gaze, it looks like, flames rising up. So what is pollen? The nectar of life. It's so important for, our world. And I'm getting like a deafening ringing in my left ear. Okay, their energy towards you. 10 of Cups. You are the gold at the end of the rainbow. You are the finish line. You are what this person wants. You are attainment and completion at the highest level of an emotional, heartfelt fulfillment. This person wants to cross the finish line with you. This person is ready for this new chapter. Perhaps you're somebody who is blowing the trumpet and waking up others in some way. In service. And this person, these two figures on the ground are just kind of like, hey, I'm down here. This person is looking at you in a sense of, show me how you did that, or help me do that, or help me receive what it is that you're doing. Nine of Swords at the bottom. The old way, right? The resistance. Possibly the resistance this person is feeling right now as the movement is enacted and taking place within. I feel like that it goes with your person. Okay. Tell me more about this judgment energy you're in regards to your person. Judgment. A call to awakening. Possibly judgmental of your person's behavior towards you. Feeling not in a mind to interact and entertain or operate within it, but feeling like a parent possibly disappointed in the choice to behave in such a way. Tell me about this judgment energy for the viewer. The judgment. Loss. A crow picking, the flesh off of a skull. Loss. Pisces. 12. I'm hearing, what a shame. What a shame. Judgment at possibly the loss of this beautiful potential that you saw with perfect clarity without any further support. You knew it from the beginning. There was a beautiful potential here. What is the symbolism of this? Scavenger. Resourcefulness. And it feels like even with what has happened, which it feels like, which brought or drove a wedge between and halted 1444 on the timer, halted communication between the two of you. I feel that in the death, right, the symbolic death and the transition from the experience to the next stage of whatever it's, allowing for you to transition into, there was an opportunity, and you are, picking the meat off the bones, right, is what I'm seeing with this crow. Taking the bits of wisdom and knowledge and experience from the situation as sustenance, as a way for you to move forward in a way where you're utilizing what you learned and what you experienced, what you observed from this connection as you go forward, as you continue to rise and support helping, it looks like, support helping others to awaken or to come to awareness or to self-realize in some way, to see higher perspective. Okay, why this 10 of Cups and 9 of Swords? Affair. And what came out was infidelity. So affair and infidelity, Leo. 5. Maybe for some of you, this was a case of your person being disloyal to you, and you in this mentality of trying to take the higher road and to pick the bits that support you and help you to grow as an individual, but not without heaviness and a sense of the finality and the ending. They're little like naked cherub people. Affair. So Leo and Pisces so far out on the table. 10 of Cups, what is that? I think that's Pisces as well, I want to say. I should memorize those for the cards. I will one day. So affair. This person could have cheated on you. This person really could have, in losing you, have a deep regret for the choice or what was, what followed that choice, that self-serving choice to be disloyal to you. And in doing so, this person's had a breakthrough, a realization that you are what they want. And they're trying to break this mentality that allows for them to do this type of behavior. This person is heavy in their thoughts, looking back on the choices they made and realizing with such depth and gravity the mistake. So in this regret, this person is, coming to awareness. It was wrong. It was so much more impactful than what it was believed to be in the moments that it was happening. Moments? I don't know why I say moments. Speculation. So affair and infidelity on your person's side. So even so, rising on your side. A loss. So you do feel the loss of this connection. And this, in the truest meaning of the judgment, it may be that it plunged you into an awareness of self on a profound and deep level that has you on a new path. This person in their regret and 9 of Swords is heavily in their head, feeling the immense loss in this connection. And this won't be for everyone. Feels kind of specific. What is the strongest connecting energy? Strongest connecting love energy existing between and felt by both. None flipped over here. Isolation and lonely. There's a tendency to push people away by isolating yourselves from uncomfortable situations. Look into new ways to break down the walls to create better... Was there something about walls? Did I hear walls? I don't know why I'm thinking of walls. To break down the walls to create better ways to connect with others. Don't keep yourselves and your light away from others. Open up to share it. Loneliness. Loss. Loneliness. So both of you are feeling, the hole that's been left from this experience. So both of you may be isolating, pushing people away in this time as you try to process and move through the intense emotions and the situation that their actions have produced. Okay, I'm going to grab these. Tell me more about this connecting energy of isolation and loneliness. My isolation and loneliness for the viewer and their person. Oh. Texting storm, panic, over attachment, abandonment, alarm. And underneath that, pain is the teacher. So that in the imagery, it kind of looks like an anxious attachment. And this could be an abandonment wound that was triggered. And what is the term for that? Protest. Oh, I was reading about it today. Protesting behavior. When your attachment style, the experience is not conducive for that attachment style to play out. So you might be in a phase or energy where you're reaching out to this person a lot with just an overwhelming fear and panic mentality of, fearing ultimately the abandonment wound that's been triggered within. Tell me about your person. Why isolation and loneliness for your person? Why isolation and loneliness for your person? Repeating cycles. New chapter, trying to move on, breakthrough, right? Unconscious loops, familiar pain, and pattern addiction too. Possibly this lifestyle of infidelity and needing new and, not respecting the sacredness of, souls, people, right? Like dirty laundry mentality. This person is in with these two cards, it feels like a really dark place. I'll show you. Oh, like a really dark, dungeon-y type of place where they hold themselves. I'm hearing Jim Carrey from Liar Liar, I hold myself in contempt. There's so much pain that this person is producing in their own experience. Not to mention all the hurt that their choices have caused you, but this cycle, it's a type of schmaddiction that this person is having a difficult time, or up until this point has had a very difficult time seeing through and having the strength to to combat, to fight, to stand up, and to face this demon, this shadow. And with you gone, with what their behavior has done and produced in this connection, they don't have a choice anymore. They have to face it. It's no longer unconscious. This cycle of whatever it is that they're doing, it could be for some of you infidelity, disloyalty, cheating. But in some way, your person has had a wake-up call. They do feel regret. They want to move on and to break this cyclical pattern of behavior that grips them, that imprisons them, that is bondage in their experience. Well, so this feels like a classic case of, for those who it connects with, an avoidant and an anxious person. It's showing ancient attachment style on your side with this panic, this over-attachment, this abandonment wound, this person that's kind of lassoing the little bit of light that they get from the connection. And then your person running away from intensity into the arms of, and I'm hearing Jim Carrey again, that's interesting, liar, liar, into the arms of another man. It's not Jim Carrey, it's the bad woman in the court case that he represents, that's clearly her moral compass doesn't even exist, into the arms of another man or woman, whatever the case may be. Pattern. It has a hold on this person, and it's a way in which they have subconsciously learned to sabotage connections through this behavior, because there's a sense of finality that it produces, according to their nervous system, a sense of ending where the intensity and the threat of whatever is triggering the nervous system and the intensity of emotions felt, the vulnerability and the fear that's felt in the exposure of their desire for you on a deep emotional level. This is how they go about ending it. Subconsciously driven. It's a lonely life. And your person in this connection is seeing a little bit of light of the web that they are entangled in. And I'm seeing that with the light over this person's head. Some kind of like reflection. Let's see. The light that's over this character's head and down here, it kind of reminds me of a spider web. The reality that they've woven with their choices, they're seeing it as if from an outside perspective. And this could be in the heartache and the horror and the extreme pain and betrayal of you. Oh, that does feel heavy. Okay. What is the strongest crossing? I just saw 2828 on the clock. Strongest crossing energy existing between, aside from the huge energy between I just saw, what's the strongest crossing? Pain. Pain, but also the opportunity for growth through this pain. And I'm just seeing like little neural pathways is what that reminds me of, that go beyond where they've been in an effort to survive, to move through the intense emotions of the experience of whatever this person did. And I don't believe that it's a bird, but this image looks and reminds me of this bird. I don't know why and what could that mean. Is like from a higher perspective, possibly a spiritual perspective, trying to find the meaning in the suffering. How is it happening for me? What is it showing me? The wisdom of the crow, right? The wisdom of the raven, whichever it is. a new beginning. And number one, I feel like that's a direction and a focal point of where you're going from this point forward has been determined in this judgment energy of, I'm going to rise, I'm going to move through this no matter what, and I will find the purpose of the suffering. And I do see this creature that this person is flying on the head of as a higher perspective is what comes to mind. There is intention on your part, I see, if this is your reading, to see this from a higher perspective. And I want to read, again, what this book says. So crossing energy. And this could be, being that it's crossing and it's a blockage, is that halted by the pain, halted by the loss, an inability to move forward through it, an inability to find the will to look for the purpose. Right now, this might be something that is incredibly fresh. The wound is still open. The processing and the understanding and the comprehending what has happened might be still something you're moving through. Okay. Growth and pain. There could be no growth without pain. We often resist change and growth because it might be painful to let go of what is known to us. We fear what we could become without it. It is easy to fall into the habit of focusing too much on what we leave behind rather than what we have to gain. And then this feels like what we leave behind. This panic, this fear, this activated wound of abandonment, and the fear of being left behind in some light. Tethering and holding on to it for dear life. You may feel stuck where you're at and fail to realize that you are on a constant journey of growth. Your actions, experiences, and previous thoughts and emotions are your roots, and they will always be a part of you. But on the other hand, you can use these to your advantage and grow new branches that you have never thought of before. And that might be why it came to me, not the traditional meaning of the judgment for you, but actually just judging judgment, kind of feeling the feelings of judgment towards your person and their character and what they've done and their choice to do this hurtful action, whatever it was. But there is something in your experience that is kind of, it feels like your higher self, right? With this bird, and birds sit on your shoulder, some of them, and they talk into your ear. So this crow, this raven, this possibly symbolizing your higher wisdom and intelligence, telling you to look for the little scraps, to pick the bones clean, to see what opportunity still lies in what you can take from it as you move forward. But there is an intensity of being in the experience and the pain of it that is making it incredibly difficult to consider how to move through it. It's a pain that is kind of, it feels like halting you and drawing from your energy, your life force. Okay. While things are taking form, it might feel turbulent and painful, but eventually these things will become part of your stable roots. Ask yourself how you think about change and growth, and what are the things you are resisting, and what are the things you have to gain. The pain we experience when going through growth may have originated from the fear of showing our true selves. And as I'm reading this, I'm just kind of bringing to my awareness, this could be an illumination of looking at the state of the connection and the flow of it and the health of it and the signs that maybe your person was displaying that possibly your fear of abandonment may have caused you to overlook this over-attachment, this putting maybe your whole sense of safety and security in their in their presence there or not. Safe when they're there, unsafe when they're not. Okay, let's see. The pain we experience when going through growth may have originated from the fear of showing our true selves, our insecurities and vulnerability. To truly grow, acknowledge that it is okay to not to be perfect. Find courage to face your own fears and the strength to tear down or lower your wall of judgment towards yourself and or others. Oh, that's so interesting. Find the courage to face your own fears and the strength to tear down or lower your wall of judgment towards yourself and or others. Judgment. Well, that's fascinating. I want to get a little bit of insight into this, what you're both experiencing on each side of this pain. The crossing energy means that no growth is, it might be so fresh that you haven't had the opportunity to move through it and to see or, look for the growth because it's so intense and new. Or it could be in a blocking sense that it's time to start looking for that opportunity for growth and healing from where you are right now. Okay, please clarify this crossing energy for the viewer and their person. Why growth and pain for the viewer and their person. Okay, so on your side, peaceful, my life is a mess. Maybe this experience triggered feelings of looking at your own life and recognizing maybe areas of life that have been neglected or disorganized or suppressed in some way. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So go within to find peace there, and your life will reflect that. So the triggering caused you to see my life is a mess in some way, in some area of life. And this is a green card, which can speak to pentacle energy, which could be home. This could be physical health. This could be career. Organization of your actual home and your belongings. True statement to consider is, I find stillness within. And in finding the stillness within, the outer world, the material world, reflects the world and the kingdom of God within. Reassuring. So in what areas in this panic, in this abandonment alarm and wound that's been activated by the hand of your person's actions, are you seeing it? Okay, clarifying for your person, receptivity. I am guarded. And I did say this feels very anxious attachment, avoidant attachment into the arms of another man or a woman, right? This is a time for your person to receive new information and an opportunity to open their heart so as to receive that information. Breakthrough, new chapter. I see now the web I've created and the tapestry of the life I'm experiencing. I had a huge part in it, in this unconscious, shadowed behavior. Now I see the light. The light is showing me that I did this, that I created this, that my fears produced these responses within me. This is an opportunity for this pain. The opportunity for growth lies in your person's willingness and courage to choose to open their heart, to be receptive to you a romantic partner. It feels that this experience and the regret that they feel and the breakthrough this person is experiencing and the secrets that they've kept from you has opened a wound. And that's what I'm seeing with this card being read. It opened the wound. And the red here. So peaceful illusion. This person's absence is causing you to look inward to see life from new eyes that are not consumed by another. And realizing their energy towards you, the 9 of Cups, you are, again, the gold at the end of the rainbow. You are the complete embodiment of the capacity for this person's love, a breakthrough. This experience, this person has broken their own heart in this unconscious behavior to defend and to not allow you to breach their walls, I'm hearing. I'm like, as I kind of focus in and feel in the red and the opening of the wound, I'm noticing that this being that kind of symbolizes or looks to me kind of like a phoenix. You are your success or your path or you being out of reach is really causing this person to feel the truth of this wound that they have suppressed for so long. Or it might have not, I'm not thinking suppress, I'm thinking repress. I'm thinking that at this point, I mean, whatever this wounding is from that caused them to be an avoidant or to attach to partners and life in an avoidant fashion. It was painful at the time, but the popular saying, which is so inaccurate, is time heals all wounds. And this person might have, had that mentality when I'll just move on and replace that person with another body and then another body and then another body. Unable to fill that void, that feeling I got like I feel like that's like your solar plexus, isn't it? I have to look at the chart. I don't remember. But this might be an area that draws focus to this person's wounding. You're out of reach, and only in being out of reach, faith, honoring yourself, has this person's breaking of their own heart cracked it open so that they can see sight, illumination, awareness of this life of being surrounded by people but feeling loneliness in that group setting. This person wants to be a better person. They want to push beyond what they've always done to step into what they can do. And there's like an intensity in the way in which this person is coming to awareness of their woundings, their behaviors, which are highly toxic and deeply hurtful to those around them. In a romantic setting, unconscious loop is now conscious. Okay. What is this person keeping from you? Let's do this one. What important aspect is 44:22 on the clock? What important aspect is this person keeping from you at this time? I have many regrets that keep me from moving forward. And this is on their side energy, regret. This person feels a deep regret, not only for what they've done, but for the effect and the pain that it has caused you. And this is a hidden aspect, so they're not telling you. And on the bottom, rejecting you was protecting myself. I was being selfish. How they rejected you is they dishonored you, is they replaced you before you had a chance to fulfill whatever story in their mind they believed you to have a part in. Rejecting you is protecting myself, right? And this says, I am guarded. And I'm also noticing this too, as I see these branches, it kind of is reminding me visually of the newer movie, what is it? Sleeping Beauty, or Maleficent, I think is what it's called. But Maleficent and the vines that grow to wall off humanity from the fairyland. The distrust of the two worlds. Okay. And let's see. What is this person's intentions towards you? Right now, with this new chapter and this breakthrough, what are this person's intentions towards you at this time? Obligation. You're a nuisance. I feel obligated to associate with you. So this feels ego. This is like, it feels like the story that this person's ego is telling them to preserve the known, even though the known is miserable, even though the known is isolating, even though the known is producing a hole and a void within their being that cannot be pinpointed. The ego is still trying to create the story to make this finality final, right? This ending final. Anything else that wants to come out? Obligation. This could also be, and it's just like, I'm sorry if that's triggering, but the triggering maybe needs to be felt. You're a nuisance. I feel obligated to associate with you. And this kind of feels associated possibly with this texting storm that came out on your side. So perhaps in this pain and in the intensity of what you're feeling, there's a part of you is just grasping and trying to put things back together and bring I'm hearing illusion of what was. But the truth of the situation is that it can't go back to what it was, is what I'm hearing. Where it's at can only go forward to create something new. It's mutual. We're on the same wavelength, good or bad. The same wavelength. That could have meaning to you in some way. Feeling the intensity of the loss, this could also be speaking to that. Feeling the loneliness, the truth of the loneliness, seeing the truth of behaviors and mentalities within the loneliness that is felt. Okay, let's see. I actually want to do this one. What does your higher self want you to bring your awareness to right now? This is kind of an intense reading, so I won't say sorry for doing the reading, but sending you so much love if this is your experience. Okay, let's see. What does your higher self want you to bring your awareness to in this connection at this time? Procrastination. Delaying important tasks can lead to missed opportunities and increased stress. Choose not to feed into the cycle by accomplishing small tasks every day. And this could be, where did I see that? Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Go within to find peace there, and your life will reflect that. So Delaying important tasks could be leading to, the feeling of this new awareness that your life is a mess. Possibly that your whole focus has been on your person. And there was a card that popped out that I ignored, and I feel like I was supposed to take it. And it was, what was it? I kept shuffling. I looked at it and I should have taken it. What was it? I know when I see it. I think it said wrong person is what it's coming to me, I guess, right here. Wrong person. Not everyone is meant for every stage of the journey. Protect your energy with clear boundaries and a firm refusal to settle. So this could, and I don't know why I didn't take that. There's like a stubbornness or a resistance in me. So that could be a knowingness, an intuitive understanding from yourself, and you feel a resistance to take it as truth. So this might be, if this is your reading, this person is meant for a chapter and not long term. Not everyone is meant for every stage of the journey. Protect your energy with clear boundaries and a firm refusal to settle. Recognize in areas in which you are procrastinating at getting important tasks accomplished, and understand that in doing so, the illusion is that it's causing you to feel more peace, but ultimately it's causing you to feel more stress. And that's so interesting that I chose peace, because at the top of this card, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it says peaceful. Okay. So the message here is find stillness within through this intense experience. Find your center. Connect with a higher power. Have compassion and love for yourself. Recognize the panic and what's driving it. And if you feel, ready to step towards it in a courageous way, look into that. The underlying driving force of the panic. This may need to be something you delve into and explore with a professional, psychologist, something of that nature. Okay, this one. Okay. So that's what you're being called to bring your awareness to. Procrastination and wrong person. What actionable advice does your higher self have for you at this time? What actionable advice does your person or your higher self have for you? Not your person. As I said, your person, that's interesting. Protect your energy with clear boundaries and a firm refusal. So actionable advice, and I just said person. What advice does your person have for you? Your person may be trying to get back in with the spoken mentality or intention to, I've had a breakthrough. This is a new chapter. It will be different mentality is kind of what I'm hearing. Protect your energy with clear boundaries and a firm refusal to settle. Okay, that's interesting how that came out. Okay, actionable guidance from your higher self, not your person. Actionable guidance from your higher self at this time. Just for your highest good and greatest awareness. Who am I ready to forgive? I am not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. And this feels associated with the judgment and also the pain and the opportunity for growth. So I'm getting that this is something that you are, from a spiritual perspective, ready to walk towards, symbolically understanding the opportunity for growth and forgiveness of yourself, 5444. So again, I'm not what happened to me, I'm who I choose to become. Carl Jung. It is time to let go, or is it time to let go, forgive, and move onward? Is your soul ready to forgive someone else or yourself? Forgiveness brings sweet release, freedom, and insight. Look at it from their shoes. Notice how you grew and what you learned. Who do you want to become, and how is the resistance holding you from what your soul wants? Resistance. Oh, I forgot what I was brought to with resistance. Oh, excuse me. Today's soul action, write a forgiveness letter. And this is that wild word with lots of H's and O's and P's in it. Practice a certain type of prayer today while thinking of prayer forgiveness, right? While thinking of the person you are ready to forgive. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me and thank you, whatever the case may be. And let's see. Is it going to allow that word? Do you see it? Okay. And I want to get a message from your higher self as well. I feel like it is needed. What does your higher self want to say to you? And I actually was just, I got a deck out and completely forgot that I got it out, but I was intuitively guided to get it out, which is, I can't remember what it's called. Modern Nirvana Oracle. And I feel like this is what the message needs to come from. So what does your higher self want to say to you? Or what does your higher self want you to know or to contemplate? What does your higher self want you to know? Discernment. I think this came out in one of the last readings. Discernment. And I'm going to read about it. You don't actually become a Buddha, you simply cease slowly to be deluded. And being a Buddha is not being some omnipotent spiritual Superman, but becoming, at last, a true human being. That's from the Tibetan book of Living and Dying. When we are called to reflect on the idea of discernment, we are asked to seek presence and exercise good judgment in mind, body, and spirit. But how do we know what is good or bad when it comes to our choices and actions? What is good or bad when it comes to our judgments? And what is truly good or bad, not just subjectively, but objectively speaking? How do we harmonize the various aspects of our human vessel so that we can think, feel, and be our very best? Working on our ability to listen, observe, and absorb allows us to integrate information from a holistic point of view. By transcending reactivity and emotion, we can find a relationship with equanimity or the state of overall mental calmness. If we view good as a positive outcome of any experience, we are flowing through equanimity and can present itself as the evolved result. The classic Mahayana Buddhist teaching on Dharma, the three vessels, uses three pots as a visual analogy for the importance of listening and retaining how we process and receive information through our metaphorical vessels. The upside down pot asks us, let's see, I'll hold it so you can look at it as I read. Okay, so the upside down pot asks us to remember to listen to life's teachings without distraction or assumption, so we can fully absorb the lesson at hand. The pot with a hole reminds us of the importance of integrating what we listen to, instead of letting information leak out without being retained, embodied, and practiced. The poison pot tells us to keep an open mind and heart free from projection and what in Buddhism is called the 5 poisons, which are attachment, aversion, ignorance, jealousy, and pride. And that could be speaking of this abandonment or this anxious type of connecting. When discernment shows up as a teacher, remembering the 3 vessels and connecting to their lessons can allow stability and graceful composure to make its way into your heart, even though the most challenging, or even through the most challenging of situations. Transmuting the poisons into a precious perspective allows non-attachment, open-heartedness, and wisdom, compassion, and humility to emanate from our presence and flow forward to all the lives we touch with this loving awareness. A mantra, if you feel guided to use, is I am committed to unifying with the most authentic expression of loving awareness. I am aware that integration is integral to maintaining this embodiment of truth. I listen, I hear, and I fully understand. And this could be the manner in which this growth, right, the crossing energy of pain and growth is presenting itself. And this feels like a message that it's time to move forward down that path towards growth. And I'm going to leave the reading there. I hope it was helpful for whoever it was intended for. And I'm sending you all so much love, especially those who connected with this message. And I'll talk to you soon.